What's up, YouTube? Ano lang, magre-review lang ako. Bakit ba? Kailangan ba may reason? Ano ba reason pwede? Magre-review. Hindi ko alam bakit gaming yung nakalagay, pero ayoko na. Tinatamad na ako. Ito na nga lang gagawin ko, magre-review na nga lang ako. Tinatamad pa ako, diba? Tinatamad na ako. Ayoko na. 30 minutes, 30 seconds pa lang. Ayoko. So, ayun. Sobrang puti naman. Or siguro, naturally, I am this, like, I'm so sorry everybody. This is the how, sing kong kwaila. Sorry. Okay, let's go. Mag-aano lang tayo. Pag sinipag ako, pwede ako gumawa ng work immersion portfolio. Pag sinipag, hindi naman ako sisipagin. Pero natulog kasi ako ng 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 hours ako nakatulog kaninang hapon. It's really amazing. It's commendable and most importantly, important. Okay. So, ayun. Sana sipagin. Sana, yes. Okay, let's go. First and foremost, we have ethics. Okay. So ethics, it came from the word ethos. Okay, Greek word ethos, which means character, habit, dwelling place. Jones, Boss, and Parker. I-ano lang natin, i-mute lang natin. Ano siya? Party pa naman sure na yan. Anyways, before we got rudely interrupted, we're going to hindi pwede ma-mute niya. Anyways, okay, so ethics came from the Greek word of ethos, which made by parang siyang which means character, habit, dwelling place. Jones, Boss, and Parker found its source in etymos, which means regularity and routine. For the Greeks, ethos is a way of being and a form of behavior that is firmly rooted in relationship. Okay, so ethics is relationship, sabi ni Morland. Ethics has both an individual and communal dimension. Okay, so what is ethics? Kit ba? Hello, parang ang laki ng boobs ko dyan. Paalang yan. Medyo malamig kasi. Ano ba? Ha? Ano mo ba ako? Check lang. Ano tsara ko pag sobrang puti? Ano? Okay na yan? Dami na! Ano ba? Okay. So, ethics. Ethics came from the Greek word ethos, which means character, habit, and dwelling place. Okay, dwelling place, character, and habit by Jones, Boss, and Parker, found in the word of etymos, which means regularity and routine. Regularity and routine. For the Greek, ethos means relationship. In relationship by Morland 2008. Ethics has both an individual and communal dimension. Okay, so una, ethics came from the Greek word of ethos, which means character, habit, dwelling place by Parker, Jones, and Boss. Tapos ang Greek word na ethos, source of etymos, which means routine, regularity, and routine. Tapos ang meaning ng etymos ay ng ethos is a way na rooted siya from relationship, okay, by Morland 2008. Tapos ito ay communal and individual, sabi naman ni Morland 2008. Okay. What is ethics? Ethics from the Greek word ethos encompasses the study of moral problems, practical reasoning, right and wrong. Okay, ethics, right and wrong, good and bad, virtues and vices, character, moral duty, and related issues involving the nature, origins, and scope of moral values. Ethics is a branch of philosophy that deals with morality. Ethics when becomes a practical science designed to test logically the rightness or wrongness of human acts. Walton 1980. Okay, yun lang naman. So, ethics came from the Greek word ethos, which means character, dwelling place, yan. Character, habit, dwelling place. Okay, by Jones, Boss, and Parker. And then we have, yung etong ethos na to came from the word etymos. Okay, etymos, which means routine and regularity. Regularity and routine, yung etymos. And then, for the Greeks, ang ethics daw is rooted in relationship by Moreland 2008. And then, meron tayong communal and individual and communal. Individual and communal by Dimension, Moreland 2008. So, ano nga bang ethics? Ang ethics is good or bad, parang ganun, yung parang base natin, or study of the moral problems, and study of moral problems, practical reasoning, right and wrong, good and bad. Ethics is a branch of philosophy na nagsasabi ng morality. Okay? Ethics then becomes a practical science designed to test logically the rightness of wrongness of human acts. Walton 1998. What is morality? Okay, morality originated from the Latin term mos and its plural form mores. Latin term mos and its plural form mores, which was used to refer to one's disposition, character, temperament, manners, costumes, or the proper behavior of a person in society. Morality is used to signify the set of beliefs of an individual and or the system of principle judgment shared by society or community. Signify the set of beliefs of an individual. Morality and ethics, what's the difference? Shachiji, you know it. Difference and meaning of morality and ethics. Mores. Mos and Mores. Morality refers to person. Diba, ang baba naman ang tingin mo sa akin? Ang baba, sobrang baba, nandito. Like, tao din naman ako. Ganun. Just lang. Okay lang. Mababa tingin mo sa akin. Ayos lang. Tatakasan natin. Charis. Morality refers to personal beliefs about right and wrong. These beliefs grow from family, religion, culture, and personal experiences, individual values. You believe lying is wrong because you are taught to be honest. Oh! Ethics refers to rules or standards set by a group, profession, or society to guide behavior. These rules are written or formally agreed on. Group or professional standard. A teacher follows ethical rules like fairness and confidentiality in school. Different in simple terms, morality is personal and internal. Ethics is shared and external. Morality guides person choices. Ethics guides conduct in groups or profession. Okay? So, morality, this is embedded into you. Hindi morality about good or bad na tinuro sa iyo ng parents mo, ng institution, or anything. Tapos, ang ethics, this is a group agreed upon. What the fuck? Ito yung lahat ng groups, lahat ng sectors nag-agreed on para magkaroon ng conduct. Yan. Guides conduct in group or profession. Shared external, morality internal. Right and wrong. This belief comes from family, religion, culture. Okay, morality. Okay, mores. Mos, Latin mores is plural for mores, which used the reform of one's disposition, character, temperament, manners, customs, character, habitual place. One's position, character, temperament, manners, customs, or proper behavior of a person in society. Morality is used to signify the set of beliefs na embedded into you of an individual or the system of principles and judgments shared by a society, culture, or community. Okay? Another author simplified it by saying morality includes rules and prima facie duties that govern our behavior as a person to persons. Newton, 2005. These rules may include the following: do not hurt people, do not tell lies, do not take more than your fair share. So that's morality kasi nga tinuro sa yan ng ibang tao. Ang ethics, yun na mismo yung um, um, agreed upon like everybody else. Like bro, you don't have to be told not to kill ganun. Ay hindi. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam. Much more simpler, please. Much simpler pala. You don't have to say more kasi simpler na siya. Morality means what a person believes is right and wrong. Ethics means rules about right or wrong made by a group or job. So morality, belief. By religion nga. Ethics means rules about right or wrong made by a group or a job. Okay. Ethics. Yeah. Yeah, I kinda getting it. Do you get it? I kinda getting it. Okay, let's try it again. Yep. Cicero originally coined the term moralis in searching for Latin translation of Greek word ethicus. Yeah, it's an applied ethics. Okay. This is ethics is an applied ethics. Ethics is generally subdivided into three subfields. Metathesis focus mainly on the investigation of sources of ethical principles. Normative, okay, we need to further elaborate these meanings because I cannot know fuck you. Copy please. Ethics has studied where ideas about right or wrong came from. Elaborate please and give example. This means business ethics deals with real moral issues found in business like fair wage, honest advertising, bribery, where ideas or right and wrong came from. It asks question about the meaning of moral words. Believe stealing is considered wrong or where the idea of honesty comes from. Normative ethics create rules or principles to judge action. It helps decide what people should do. Normative: do not lie, treat everyone fairly, are used to judge actions as well. Applies ethical rules to real life issues. It focuses on specific moral problem people face, debating if the death penalty is wrong, right or wrong. Okay? Kind of confusing. Is an applied ethics because it generally talks about the morally debatable issues in the field of business and commerce. Applied ethics because it generally talks about the morally debatable issues. Okay. Values are caught, not taught. Yup. To be sure, no course, no book. To be sure, no course, no book, no training activity can convert an unethical person into an ethical one. You cannot teach ethics. Yup. Students are expected to have an accurate and clear understanding of ethics theories, but of course, we should not stop with cognition. According to Edward Stevens, 1979, author of Business Ethics, mahal. Yes, girl. I'm gonna message you right now. I don't care about no boundaries. We are about to get fucked. Charis. Bakit naman ifa-fuck? Bawal ang fuck-fuck. Wait lang. Close ko lang ang door para di naman kakaya naman kung marinig nila mamaya yung yeah. Ay, hindi na siya malamig. Mas maganda pa hindi malamig. Hindi ko mas maganda. Hala, bakit ako naka-ball cut ba ako? Hindi yan ball cut. Ano yan, texture fridge yan na nag-grow out ko lang. Sorry. Yuck. Okay. Let's start with what we learned. Okay, so we know that ethics came from the Greek word ethos, which means character, habits, and dwelling place by Jones, Boss, and Parker. And then we found that its source came from the etymos, which means regularity and routine. And then for the Greeks, ethos is a way na magkaroon ng rooted in relationship. Okay? By Moreland 2008. And ethics has both an individual and communal dimension. Okay, ethics. So, wait lang. Ethics from the Greek word ethos encompasses the study of moral problems, practical reasoning, right and wrong. So, basically, ang ethics, it is about right and wrong, good or bad, parang ganun. Parang binigay sa'yo yan, parang set rules by the institution's job, parang economy, ganun. Ayan. Involving nature, origins, and scope. Ethics is a branch of philosophy that deals with morality. Ethics then became a practical science designed to test logical rightness or wrong of human acts. So can ethics be taught? No, hindi po natuturo ang ethics. Bakit? Sabi dun sa huli na page. Bakit? Hindi ko, kailan ko ba alamin yan? Charis. What is morality? Morality is set within you. Set within your religion, set by your parents, ganyan. So morality originated from the Latin word mos, or the plural form, which is mores, which was used to refer to one's disposition, character, temperament, manners, customs, or the proper behavior of a person in society. So morality, that's behavior. Morality is used to signify the set of beliefs of an individual and or the system of principles and judgments shared by a society, culture, or community. So morality, yan na is embedded within you, that is personal. Okay, that's moral, your morality. Okay, so another author simplifies it by saying morality includes rules and prima facie duties that govern our behavior as a person to person. The rules may include the following: do not hurt people, do not tell lies, do not take more than your fair share. That's morality. Cicero originally coined the term moralis is in searching for Latin translation for the Greek word ethikos. Okay, so business ethics is applied ethics. Okay, applied ethics ang business ethics. Okay, so ang meaning ng business ethics deals with the real moral issues found in business. Ang business ethics, ito yung parang talks about the debatable part of the business. It talks about the morality debatable issues in the field of business and commerce. Okay, yeah. That's what I say. And then we have methics. Methods, normative, and applied ethics. So, methods, wait lang. You have to know the pronunciation. Bro! That's methods, bro. This ain't the first time I've been hooked up to this TV.
Ethics. Metaethics.
Metaethics studies where ideas or right or wrong came from. It's asks question about the meaning of moral world and beliefs, asking why stealing is considered wrong. Or it asks questions. So metaethics is ask the question, ask question about the meaning of moral world and belief, ideas and right or wrong came from. So metaethics studies where the right and wrong came from. It asks questions, okay? Kung bakit mali yung ginawa niya, bakit mali yung pag-i-steal, bakit mali ang pumatay, ganon. That's metaethics, okay? Now we have normative ethics. Normative ethics creates rules or principles to judge action. It helps decide, okay, so normative, dito na sila nagsiset ng rules. So kung kanina sa metaethics, sila ang nag-ask ng question where the moral or ideas of right and wrong came from. Now we have normative ethics, which gives or set a rules para makahelp kung ano nga ba yung tama or mali. It helps decide what people should do. Okay, meaning do not lie, do not kill, do not steal, do not take more than what you are entitled for. Okay, so we have applied ethics naman. Applied ethics applies ethical rules to real life issues. So, meron ka ng okay. Why do you do this, man? Like, what's the... Anyways, let's do it. Okay. Metaethics focus on mainly on the investigation. Oh my goodness. Bigay ka surplus. Yes, you never know until you ask, 'di ba? Mabuting nag-ask ng question kaysa naman binabaliwala, 'di ba? Magandang idea 'yan. Syempre naman, like graduating students na kami, sir. Pero naman. Ano? Okay, so applied ethics rules into real life issues. It focuses on a specific moral problem people face, debating if death penalty is right or wrong. Okay, so we have metaethics. Metaethics, it explains whether metaethics asks questions, okay, where the basic or the ideas of right or wrong came from. Okay, it asks questions kung bakit nga mali ang ginawa niya, bakit nga ba dapat hindi pumatay, bakit nga ba hindi dapat kumuha ng mas madami kaysa entitled for. Okay, now we have normative ethics. Normative ethics, it set rules para makatulong kung paano nga ba makakapag work ang isang tao. Okay, paano sila gagawa kilos, ganyan. So normative ethics creates rules or principles to judge actions. Okay, rules like do not lie, do not kill, do not take more than what you're entitled for. Now we have applied ethics. Applied ethics, dito na ini-imply in real life situations yung mga rules to real life issues. Okay, it focus on specific moral problems people face. Hoy, tinawanan ako. Siguro magbibigay yan. Sana naman. Magbigay ka na, sir. Graduating student na kami. Give one good reason why we are graduating students, sir. Oh. Oh, ano sasabihin mo? We are graduating students. Of course, you've been there, you've done that. Why would you want to be the cause? Charis. Business ethics is an applied ethics because it generally talks about the morally debatable issues. Yeah. Values are caught and not taught. To be sure, no course, no book, no training. Sino nagsabi na you cannot teach ethics? Si Corselli, 2003. Okay? Students are respected. Yeah. According to Edward Stevens, 1979, author of a business ethics book, a business decision can reflect a person's worldview, philosophy in life, and moral standards. Another reason why we should study business ethics is to appreciate the unique... Okay? Alright. Ulitin natin, kasi nga, meron daw. Okay? So we have, what is ethics? Ethics came from the word ethos, which means character. Okay? Habit. Okay? And dwelling place by by Boss, Parker, and Jones. Boss, Parker. Now we have found its source in etymos, which means regularity, yeah, and routine. And for the Greeks, ang by Moreland 2008, ang ethos daw is a way na rooted in relationship by Moreland. Moreland 2008. Ethics has both individual and communal dimension. Okay, so Greek word ethos ethics came from the Greek word ethos, which means character, dwelling place, and habit. Okay, from Boss, Parker, and Jones. Now we have etymos. Etymos, which means Moreland 2008. Okay, etymos etymos, which means regularity and routine. Ethos by Moreland 2008 na rooted in relationship. By Moreland 2008 din, sabi niya individual and communal dimension. What is ethics? Ethics is the Greek word ethos, encompasses the study of moral problems, practical reason, right and wrong, good or bad, virtues, basta set of rules, right? Na sinet ng yan. Becomes a practical science designed to test logically rightness or wrongness of human acts. Walton, 1998. Walton, 1998. Wrongness and human acts. Rightness, wrongness, right? Rightness, wrongness, Walton. Okay. Another author simplifies it by saying, morality includes rules and prima facie duties that govern our... Okay, rules and prima facie. Okay. Another author simplifies saying, morality includes rules and prima facie duties that govern our behavior person to person. Newton, 2005. Newton, okay, morality na yan. Cicero originally coined the term moralis. Cicero. Okay. Okay, so morality originated from the Latin word amos, and the plural form of mores, which means character, one's belief, behavior, customs, manners, temperament. Okay? Set of beliefs of an individual or belief mo, personal. Shabana 2008. Belief of an individual and society, community. Shabana 2008. Another author simplifies Newton, person to person, rules and prima facie. Cicero originally coined, okay, so who coined the morality term moralis? Cicero coined. Coined. Okay, applied ethics. Metaethics, ito yung metaethics as question. Normative, set rules. Applied ethics, apply in business, in real world. Yeah. Corselli 2003. You cannot teach ethics. Edward Stevens, author of the business ethic book. Okay. Decision can reflect a person's worldview. Okay. Who is the author of business ethic book? A business decision can reflect. Okay. Dang it, bro. Ang dami naman. Ayan. Consequentialism. refers to an approach in moral decision making wherein the prime consideration is the effect of consequence of an action or decision. Sometimes an author also referred to this as teleological ethics. Telos is a Greek word which means end intention. Tumaba ba ako? Or commute lang? Hoy! Joke lang po. Feel ko kailangan ko mag-rest. Wait lang. Rest muna ako ng mga 10 minutes. I need 10 minutes. I need to pee. Just to hear you breathing. I just want you to Okay, ito na. Puta. Ah, consent consequential consequent consec consequentialism consec consequentialism refers to approach in moral decision making where the prime consideration is the effect of consequence of an action of a decision. Sometimes, son of David come for the house, he came on me. Walang powerhouse dito, sir. Sipain kita. Alam naman. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, bitches. I just need. Yes. We need to chant, chant, chant. Okay. Chanting. It's very chanting. Anyways, we have consequentialism. Consequentialism judges action based on result. An action is right if the outcome is good and wrong if the outcome is bad. A company raises prices during shortage. Under consequentialism, consequentialism about the consequence. Okay, if ang result is good, then it is outcome is good. Right. Okay. So, if good ang outcome niya, the action is right. Mali ang wrong, mali if the outcome is bad. Okay? Now, ethical egoism. Ethical egoism says people should act in ways that serve their own interests, helping others still connects to personal benefit. Okay, so ethical egoism, tumutulong ka kasi may personal benefit ka, mayroon kang gustong i-ano dyan. Kunwari, tumutulong ka sa kunwari, tumutulong ka sa business owner, ikaw ay isang employee. Pag tinulungan mo siya, ibigay ka niya ng mas higher rate. Okay? So that's, parang bumabalik pa rin sa'yo yung pagtulong mo. Pag tumulong ka, mayroon ka pa rin mababalik sa'yo. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism focuses on the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Everyone's happiness counts equally. A company, okay, wait lang. What? Utilitarianism. For the letter word useful is also consequentialism, approach to ethical decision making, because it tells us that an act rightness or wrongness is determined solely by the act's consequence and not by the feature of the act itself. It principle of justice may be stated as everybody to account for one, nobody to account for more than just one. Alright, utilitarianism focus on the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Everyone's happiness counts equally. A company chooses a cheaper supply to lower product prices for many customers. Even if profits are slightly reduced, the decision favors more majority benefit. So utilitarianism, ito yung madami magbe-benefit. Parang ganon. Great. Okay, nagfo-focus siya sa mas madaming matutulungan for, Kant deontologic ethics. Kant deontologic action are moral when done out of duty, not because word or result. Right actions follow moral rules. A cashier returns exchange to customer because honesty is a duty. So Kant's deontologic ethics, ito yung ginagawa mo because it's your duty. Ito yung work mo. Actions are moral when done out of duty, not because of the reward or the result. Okay? Moral rights are basic human rights every person has simply by being human. These rights must be respected in decision. A company respects all workers' right to safe working conditions, even if safety. Okay. Ethics of care focus on relationship, companionship, and responsibility towards others. Decision value, empathy, and connection. A manager allows flexible work hours for an employee facing family problems because the care personal matters. Okay. Care, relationship, companionship. Virtue ethics focus on character. What matters is becoming a good person through honesty, fairness. Okay. Consistently acts fairly because fairness is part of personal character. Okay, I get it. So consequentialism, it's about if tama ang decision, action is right if good ang outcome. Pag bad ang outcome, then it is wrong. That's consequentialism about the consequence. Now we have ethical egoism. Ethical egoism is about being helping but also focusing on how it will benefit you. Okay? Their own interest. Now, utilitarianism is about choosing the greatest action for the great number of people. Happiness counts equally. Now we have Kant's deontological ethics. It's about it's your duty. It's your duty to it's your duty not because of the you do the actions are moral when done out of duty. Actions are moral when done out of duty, not because of rewards or the result, but because it is your duty. Okay? Right action follow moral rules. Moral rights naman, this is embedded into you as a person. Moral rights are basic human rights every person has simply by being human. That's moral right. Ethics of care, it's about relationship. Okay, focus on relationship, companionship, and responsibility toward others. Now, virtue ethics. Virtue ethics is doing it out of character. Focus on character. What matters is becoming a good person through honesty, fairness, and integrity. Now, we're going to focus on the people who did this. Okay, so consequentialism, approach in moral decision making, where the prime consideration is the effect of consequence. Yeah. Okay, consequentialism. Author also referred to this theological ethics, telos, as teleological ethics. Teleological. Teleological. And intention, purpose. Consequentialism. First an approach in theological. Art of action by outcome by theological. Theology. Oh, okay. Okay, we get it. So, consequentialism, also known as theological ethics. Telos is a Greek word which means end, intuition, or purpose. Traditionally, there are two consequentialist approaches that ethics scholars would usually discuss: ethical egoism and utilitarianism. Okay, ethical egoism is found on physiological egoism. Physiological egoism is the doctrine that everyone is motivated to look after his own or her own perspective best interest. Bowie 2013. Of course, it is obvious that we show care and concern toward other people, but this caring is based on how things are affected our own happiness. Socio 2010. Socio. Ethical egoism, English philosopher Thomas Hobbes, widely considered to be one of the main proponents of psychological egoism, even interprets acts of seeming altruism to be ultimately egoistic. Since the human person is basically self-interested, the ethical theory that benefits him or her is that which does not deny his or her fundamental nature. Ethical egoism tends to violate objective moral principles just to satisfy one's interest. Yeah. So, consequentialism, ito yung about the consequence. Tapos, teleological ethics, yan, also known as theological ethics, are telos, which means end, intuition, or purpose. And based on Bowie 2013, that philosophical egoism is the doctrine that everyone is motivated to look at its own perceived best interest, egoism. Bowie 2013. By Socio 2010 naman, but this caring is based on how the things are affected or on own happiness. Okay? Thomas Hobbes, widely considered to be one of the main proponents of psychological egoism. Psychological egoism, main proponents, Thomas Hobbes. Okay? Like ethical egoism, utilitarianism, from Latin word utilis, which means useful, is also a consequentialist approach to ethical decision making because it tells us that an act's rightness or wrongness is determined solely by the act's consequence and not by any feature of the act itself. Sinibus Hamber, 1999. Its principle of justice may be stated as everybody to count for one, nobody to count for more than just one. Utilitarianism, ulit, so ethical egoism, yung consequence, okay, telos, teleological, two approaches, ethical egoism and utilitarianism. Ethical egoism, Bowie and Socio. Bowie, yun yung doctrine. Tapos Socio, happiness. Thomas Hobbes, proponent of ethical egoism. And then utilitarianism, Sonisinobus and Humber, and then Jones et al. 2003. Okay? Everybody to count for one, nobody to count for more than just one. Jones. Because it tells us that an act's rightness or wrongness is determined solely by the act's consequences, not any feature of the act itself. Utilitarianism, Synonymous and Hamburg, 1999. One of the most famous version of the ontological approach to ethical decision making is the one advanced by Immanuel Kant, 1724-1804. Okay? 1718-1804. A German philosopher during an Enlightenment period. Immanuel Kant. Dion is a Greek word which means duty. Means duty. Okay? Yeah. Morality is done based on duty, not because of the reward or the result. Taylor, 2008. A human act must be founded on reason. A human act has true moral worth if it is performed because of a moral duty and not just because mere benefits and personal interest. Taylor, 2008. Moral rights. The right approach to decision making in business maintains that every stakeholder person has basic. Okay? Ay, walang tao sa moral rights. Okay? Okay. Pero basahin pa rin natin. Okay? On account why a right holder is entitled to them, right can be classified into two: legal rights and moral rights. Okay? Legal right is acquired due to specific laws. Legal rights, moral rights, also known as human right, is inherent in each other. Concept of moral duty also goes hand in hand with moral rights. My right to extend my arm ends when the nose. It's important to study moral rights in business ethics because many business decisions and activities in one way or they are connected to enhance or violation of human rights. Ethics of care. Ethics of care started as a reaction to the male-centered theories of moral reasoning. In 1982, feminist psychologist Carol Gilliman, ethics of care, care of other people, relationship. Many women have different orientation approach when it comes to moral reasoning decision making. Gillan. Carl Gillan, 1980. Feminist psychologist. Carl Gillan. Ethics care. Carl Gillan declared that care perspective is also a legitimate ethical perspective, perhaps even more superior to different version of justice perspectives. Shares and Hemingway. 2011. In the corporate environment, there is an increased demand for business to be attentive to its many stakeholders, particularly customers and employees. Derry, 2005. The basic of the ethics of care is the person's feeling of lack and meaningless when he or she is isolated from other people. Okay. Its main weakness lies in the tendency to violate and demand of justice and moral rights because of its inherent tendency to highlight relationship and favor close associates. Some critics would see caring values such as compassion, empathy, and friendship as idealistic and naive if applied in business relations, generally perceived as aggressive, brutal, and profit-driven. Virtue ethics. Okay. What is important is the individual consequently pursuing the development of his or her personal character and integrity. It must be clarified that virtue ethics does not undermine the importance of rules and principles. Okay? I feel like we got it. Consequentialism is about if the result is good, then it is right. The act is right. The action is right. Then the action is wrong if the result is wrong. Okay, is bad. And then authors usually refer consequentialism as theological ethics. Okay, or came from the Greek word telos, which means an intuition and or purpose. Traditionally, there are two consequentialism. We have ethical egoism and utilitarianism. Okay, ethical egoism is about you have your own benefit. Okay, like you're helping because meron kang own benefit doon. Okay, pupunta pa din sa benefit mo. That's ethical egoism. By Bowie, 2013, sinabi niya, that's doctrine that everyone is motivated to look after his or her own perceived best interest. Tapos by Socio 2010 naman, ito daw ay happiness. Okay? So Bowie 2013, doctrine, happiness, Socio 2010. Now, ethical egoism, yan. Utilitarianism naman came from the Latin word utilis, which means useful. Okay, by Sionayonabus and Humber 1999, yung pinakamahaba. Okay, rightness and wrongness. Rightness and wrongness. Okay, everybody count for one, Johnnes 2003. Okay, Johnnes. Everybody to count for one, nobody to count for more than just one. Utilitarianism, ito yung pag-choose ng mas better option for everyone. Okay? Kasi nakakatulong ka sa mas madaming tao. That's utilitarianism. Now we have Kant's Deontological Ethics by Immanuel Kant. 1724 to 1804. Okay, that's Kant's Deontological Ethics. One of the most famous version of deontological approach as ethical decision making is the one of the advice by Immanuel Kant, 1724 to 1804, which means ang Kant's deontological ethics is doing it acting in morality, based because it's your duty, not because of the result or the reward, but because it is your duty. Okay? Dion is a Greek word for duty. A human act must be founded on reason by Taylor, 2008. Human act must be founded on reason. A human act has a true moral worth if it is performed because of the moral duty, not just because of mere benefits and personal interest. Okay, that's human act must be founded on reason, Taylor. Moral rights naman. Okay, moral rights, ito yung embedded into you. Okay, you have legal rights and moral rights. Moral rights is about embedded into you. Tapos ang legal rights is about the government rights. Yan. Yan. Ayan. Moral rights, wala naman siyang tao dyan. It's specific laws. Okay? Ito as human. Concept of morality. Yeah. Okay. Ethics of care naman, it is about the relationship. Okay? About sa people. Okay. Wait lang. Shape compassion and responsibility towards others. Yeah. Male-centered theories or moral. Carl Gilligan, Ethics of Care, 18. Okay, feminist psychologist. Okay, that men and women have different orientations and approaches when it comes to moral reasoning and decision making. Gilligan declared that the care perspective is also a legitimate ethical perspective, perhaps even more superior to different versions of justice and justice perspectives. Gilligan declared that the care perspective is also a legitimate ethical. Carl Gilligan, Ethics of Care. In the corporate environment, there is an increased demand for business to be attentive to its stakeholders, particularly customers and employees. Okay? In corporate environment, there's an increased demand there. The basic of the ethics of care is the person's feeling of lack and meaningless when he or she is isolated to other people. Yeah. Virtue ethics is about sa sarili mo talaga, like for your own integrity, for your own development. Individual consciously pursuing development is her own. Yeah. It must be clarified that virtue ethics does not undermine the importance of rules and principles. Gets ba natin? Guys, gets ba? Medyo chop na tayo ngayon kasi nga, hindi ko alam. Basta. Bakit na ganun? That's disgusting. I will make wow. Okay, so what is ethics? Ethics is came from the word ethos, which means character, habit, and wait lang. Dwelling place. Jones, Boss, and Parker found its source in etymos, which means regularity or routine. For the Greeks, ang ethos, and ang ethos daw, ito yung rooted in relation by Moreland, 2008, and by Moreland then individual and communal dimensions. Ethics, yan. Ethos, Marley, yan. And then by Walton, 1999, logically rightness and wrongness of human acts, Walton. What is morality? Morality, ito ay, ito lang. Practical science test. Morality, origin Latin word for moralist. Okay? Moralist. Okay. Hindi pala. Wait lang. Moralist. Ano pa moralist? Pak lang. Ano palang moralist? Morality originate from the word Latin terms which is mos, or the plural term which is mores, which is used to character, tapos behavior, tapos manners and customs. Okay, behavior. Yan. Basta ang ethics, ito yung sinet by the government or a group or society, and then morality is your own beliefs. Okay, by Shabana, 2008. Belief, Shabana. What is morality? By Newton, 2005. Rules and prima facie. Cicero coined. Metaethics, ito yung nag-ask ka ng question where the moral or right and wrong came from. Normative, ito yung paglalagay na mismo ng rules, pagsiset ng rules para kung paano gumalaw or gumawa yung isang tao. Applied ethics naman, ito yung ina-apply mo na yung mga ethics sa real situation. Okay? Now, business ethics, dito naman parang nag-reason out siya kung ano yung debatable based on the issues of the build of the business. Caroselli, ito daw yung you cannot teach ethics. Tapos, Edward Stevens, author of Business Ethic book, Edward Stevens. Waitin natin nga. Ethics, Parker, Jonas, and Boss. Moreland, 2008. Walton, 1998. About siya sa rightness and wrongness. Morality, Shabana, 2008. Binara pa, no? Ayun lang. Okay. Caroselli, 2008. 2003 pala, You Cannot Teach Ethics. Edward Stevens, 1979, author of Mrs. Ethic book. Consequentialism. Okay. Okay. Bowie, 2003. Socio, 2010. Socio Happiness, Bowie, about doctrine. Thomas Hobbes, proponent. Thomas Hobbes, a proponent, main proponent kasi. Utilitarianism, yung pinakamahaba, Socinobus and Humber, 1999. And then, Jonas et al. Naka-from Humber, rightness and wrongness, about utilitarianism, Socinobus, Humber. Ang rightness and wrongness naman dito, nandito, Walton. Walton. Jonas. Kant's deontologist, Immanuel Kant, 1724, 1804. Dion Duty. Taylor, 2008. Human act must be founded on reason. Carol Gilligan. Basta Carol, feminist psychologist. Dairy. Okay. I feel like I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I need to sleep. I need to relax. I need to do something that can put my head around these bitches. I bet you feel it now, baby. Since you better know that you're the one different. I can't you. I'm running to the ground. I keep running one time. I want it fun. Dance with the devil in my heart. Boy, I'm gonna fool you. All you universe, guys. Ala. Hindi siya puti. That's pink, bitch. Nagbabrush ako ng teeth ko 2 times to 3 times a day. With me, boy. Stop it. Goodbye.